to use nunchaku or nunchucks like Bruce Lee. Start with your hand in the middle of one of the sticks of the nunchucks. Your hands are here. The string or the chain will come out your thumb side. Your palm will face the sky, and you're gonna do an orbital spin. This is one basic move that you would see in any Bruce Lee film. This is something he would train with all the time. Bruce Lee nunchaku are very simple and the basic strikes that he would use for self-defense or make an exciting movie, any kind of attack. Starts like this. Simple spin. You can slow it down, get in a good stance, get in a high-pitched scream, make it look more authentic, Bruce Lee style, but speed it up and start to build power in that wrist. Get the blood to flow, get that injury-free wrist strength for all your other martial arts, grappling, striking, for everything. Hello, it's good to see you. Ow, is that ow, Ethan? You're gonna go over your body to the other side, turn your palm down. Good morning, Garen, it's good to see you. Hello, Richard, nice to see you. My palm is down. I'm just doing the same orbital. It's on the opposite side of my body. I turn the palm up again, facing the sky, turn it over. This is all a warm-up, but it's also practicing one of the most basic and iconic Bruce Lee nunchaku moves, which is just a menacing spin, right? Just in your position, you slow it down, speed it up, but you're just going around. It's also really working that wrist, that forearm. Good morning, Matthew, it's good to see you. When you put this one together with this one, you go back and forth, you now have another iconic Bruce Lee nunchaku move, which is this figure eight, sideways figure eight, also known as an infinity spin, because it looks like the infinity sign, and you're just simply carving that sideways figure eight with the end of your chucks. So we call it an endless spin also because of the infinity sign, and it doesn't stop, it's endless. You're going over and back, throw it into the other hand. Doesn't matter how you get it there yet. I will show you how to transfer hands like Bruce Lee in this how to use nunchaku Bruce Lee tutorial. You're spinning here. You're gonna turn your palm over, spinning down, spinning up, spinning down, and then put it together. And you'll see that I'm holding it right in the middle of the chuck. I do this during the warm-up spins. You're gonna do this for a lot of different techniques where you're trading the chucks from one hand to the other hand. You're gonna go from the middle. When you fight for self-defense, you're always gonna hold here at the end. Now, if you like working with nunchucks, you like Bruce Lee, you like martial arts in general, please give me a thumbs up. Sliding through, that helps this channel grow. You're gonna go side to side from your shoulder and down, holding here on the end in this Bruce Lee diagonal strike. And notice that I'm extending my arm all the way out. I'm allowing the weight of the chuck to pull it kind of in a straight line, back and forth. And this is gonna start to warm up your shoulders. Then I'm gonna go into a horizontal strike, same thing. In your horizontal strike, you can go up to the head, you can go into the body, you can go down toward the ground or to the knees, but it's just this horizontal move. And when I come across the body, my palm is facing the sky. When I bring it down, palm is facing down. Thank you very much, W9 UFO, for that thumbs up. I appreciate that. After you've done this for about 30 seconds, then you're just gonna go straight up and down. Think of a vertical strike coming down on the top of the head. So you're striking here. You're also just getting blood into that joint, getting everything properly warmed up. If you think about Bruce Lee, with his shirt off, he had all those tight muscles. He had good muscular development. He had good striations, good, he was very lean. But he also had a lot of strength and size and speed. Bruce Lee's speed was legendary in martial arts mythology. You're going up and down, and a lot of that came from properly preparing his body for workouts. Good warm-ups, right? Coming around side to side. Now, I want you to put those three strikes together, bringing it over, bringing it back, and bringing it up. And I call this the Bruce Lee triangle. It's a square triangle, not a square, right triangle. That's the word I'm looking for. because you have this 90-degree angle, and then you have kind of the roof, right? 1, 2, 3. Coming across, you can do it in big striking motions as if you were defending yourself. And if you use this for self-defense, you would be striking with just the tip, slicing across the body, taking out the eye for self-defense, into the neck, into the jaw, anything you can remove or destroy for self-defense. And you would hold here at the end. That way, when it bounces, it hits itself and not your hand. So you go through, back, and up. Or if you wanted to make it more flashy, more showy, maybe you're gonna do a movie, you've been hired as a stuntman to make, maybe you're the new Bruce Lee, right? You're gonna hold it, the shirt was choking me. You're gonna hold it here in the middle, and you can bring it closer to your body. Maybe like in a Bruce Lee film, they gotta get the camera really close, and you do that high pitch, scream, right? And it looks super fast because the camera's so close. Or again, for self-defense, you back it up, but it's the same basic motion, right? Do that on the other side, starting with this up and down, and then across at an angle. Do a couple of those horizontal, palm up, going across, palm down, coming back, and then throwing those 3 together. And again, you can hold here, you slide your hand up, and you can get it closer. When I'm here, see how I just like wrap it around my back? That's how you keep from busting yourself up so much. You wrap it, same thing on the shoulder. See how I just kind of put the tip here, and I tip my hand up, and that allows my body to absorb without getting hit. I'm not gonna end up with bruises until I whack myself in the head, but you won't see that because of my hair, right? Now, hand to hand, just like Bruce Lee in a movie, how to train like nunchaku, how to train nunchaku, Bruce Lee, or how to train nunchucks like Bruce Lee, or Mighty Guy over here. Come under, bring it back here, come under. Maybe you're a big Naruto fan, or a Ninja Turtle fan. There's a lot of great Daredevil, the Marvel comic book hero. All these guys fighting with chucks. These kind of look like Daredevil's chucks too, don't they? They have that kind of that color. Back in the day, they made that Ben Affleck. Not a big Ben Affleck fan, but he was the Daredevil, right? Jennifer Gardner was whatever her name was. I'll call her Combative Girl just because I don't know what her name was. She fought with the collie sticks. Daredevil fought with the collie sticks. His seeing cane or whatever came apart into 2 pieces, and he could chuck it. He could chuck it up, right? He could fight with the chucks coming in and out like Bruce Lee, or he could separate them and fight with 2 collie sticks. I always loved that comic book as a kid. All right, so you hold in 3 places. Here for strikes, here for tricks, here for speed. You hold here at the tip, you pick up all of this. Elektra, thank you, Elektra. Yeah, I love that character. I love the character when Jennifer Garner did. I wasn't a huge Jennifer Garner fan either, although now she's in a TV show called, or a movie, like a Netflix thing. Yes Day. My kids, we were watching Elektra and Daredevil because I wanted to show them the weapons. I love showing my kids movies with the weapons in it that they train with here all the time. And they say, Dad, he's fighting with chucks. Dad, she's fighting with collie stick. He's got a bow. We were watching the Star Wars. Donnie Yen comes out and he's fighting the stormtroopers with a bow. Just martial arts weapons adapted for movies. Back to the Bruce Lee. I want to show you one of my favorite Bruce Lee moves. This might be yours too. If it is, put it in the comment section. In fact, what is your favorite Bruce Lee move? Start on this upper arm, right? And see what's happening. It's just my wrist. It's going down and it's going back. Down, back. Garen, I don't know the character stick. I'm assuming he fights with a stick though. I would like him if that's the case. And when you bring it down, pop your elbow down, squeeze, get it nice and stinky in there, pop them in the face. You want it front and back, pop it in, pop them. 1, 2, boom. Now if you want to put it together like Bruce Lee himself in a movie, you might do a couple of orbitals, you might do 1 or 2 of these, then you catch it and you pop them. Maybe you throw in some figure 8s, bring it back out, bring it up and down. catch it, pop them, swing it back, throw it into the other hand, do a couple of Bruce Lee triangles, bring it out into an orbital, front and back, catch it, pop them, go into a figure eight, throw it, and catch it in the other hand. I never saw Bruce Lee do that in a movie, but I want to show you, just in case you want to fight like Bruce Lee plus. This is Bruce Lee. If he had made it past whatever age he made it to, and he said, you know what, I want to start throwing and catching my chucks from hand to hand, throwing and catching, because it's such a cool trick. You're going to make a circle, right? Make a big orbital in front of the body. You could do that and be like, come on, man, try to get through this, try to get through this. I wouldn't for self-defense, but you could. You bring it around, throw it up, catch it in the other hand. So watch what happens. I'm just letting it go, and then it spins. And when it does, I turn my other palm up, catch it just like that. So I'm bringing it around. And again, if you like Bruce Lee, you like martial arts, you like this big tiger on my shirt, give me a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give me a thumbs down. Either way, I appreciate you being here and training with me today. You bring it around, throw it up, catch it, bring it into the opposite. Let it go, catch it, bring it around, catch it, bring it around, catch it. Then go into a figure eight. Subtle ones, yes, the feints. Bruce Lee, you said your favorite Bruce Lee moves are the feints, right? And he's here, he's like, and the enemy, bam, he smacks him right in the face. I love that move especially. Coming around, 1, 2, 1, throw it and catch it. 1, 2, 1, 2, throw it and catch it. And at the beginning, you can watch it and catch it, and then later, you would start to look straight ahead. I'm not gonna be able to pull that one off without thinking about it, at least a little bit. I distracted myself. You get in your figure eight, throw it. I'm still gonna look at it because these are made by Combative. They sent me these a couple years ago, and they're made out of aluminum. And when they hit, they really hurt. They're heavy, they're heavier. But this stuff here, that's made to rip skin for self-defense. So these are great self-defense chucks. Combative.com, combative with a K, Kombativ.com. Let me show you one more thing with Bruce Lee that I just thought of. It's very important. Had to go over to my weapons corner. It's a little messy this morning. Friday's my day to clean up. So I've been teaching so many classes back to back, trying to keep the lights on, literally scratching the earth to make a penny, that all my cleaning comes on one day a week now. I used to clean every single day. I clean my mats every day, keep them germ-free. Now I get it on Friday. It accumulates too, as you can imagine. But we get real clean today. All right, so one in each hand, right? So the question is always, how do you use two chucks? Well, it's super simple. You have to, there's some moves that you can do any move with both hands at the same time, and you have to work up to it. You might not be able to get it right away, but start with the orbital. Start with the same orbital, move my hands up. You see how I did that? You get comfortable after a while. Just walk your fingers in, walk your fingers out. So you're doing them both at the same time. Yeah, Garen, I'm on FPL. I think you're talking about Florida Power and Light, maybe. I got my disconnect notice yesterday saying pay, or I think I had 3 or 4 more days. So I paid that last night, right before I went home. That's funny, you mentioned FPL. I was thinking about that this morning. Like, okay, it's been a long time since I've been back there where I didn't pay my bills right when they were, or before they were due. But times have changed, right? The COVID, it's not the COVID. The COVID didn't hurt anything. It's the reaction to the COVID. The reaction to COVID made everything harder. Good morning, Naj. We're just talking about Florida Power and Light, FPL. Paying bills before you get the disconnection. From here, turning it over, turning it back, figure eight, same time. And then if you want, you can alternate it. Looks a little different. Then if you want, you can cross the arms. And then when you're ready, add a couple out here, couple out here, couple here, catch it, oh, missed it, come back here. And the great thing is, if you miss it, do it again. Catch it, boom, boom, hit 1, 2, boom. Same time, looks super cool when you practice. You can even start to do wrist rolls. I missed that one. Wrist rolls, the same time. Need to practice that a little bit more. I haven't done that in a while. Whoa, almost got myself there. Boom, wrist rolls, back. But start slow, right? And then you start to move same time or alternating when you do double chucks. And then it all kind of looks cooler, like you really have a lot of skill. But what's happening is I have to pick and choose which techniques I'm gonna do when I throw 2 chucks in my hand. Because if not, if you lose focus of this one, because you're paying attention to this one, bam, you're gonna smack yourself with one of them. That's not to say don't try it. That's to say just pay attention. In fact, try it for sure. Force yourself to increase your focus, because when you're using 2, you have to think about what you're doing. You can even change your technique up, right? While you're doing it. Challenge yourself. Go into a freestyle without hitting yourself. And then start to move your feet around. Move your feet around as you turn, and then you come back and you find out how things move differently through space and time. You hear them smack together. That's one of the benefits of using this stuff. Yeah, 3-section stuff. Do weapon. Yeah, you do. Focus your eyes. If you close your eyes, like you were saying, then let's go to the other corner. Then you can get really good at it really fast. But expect to hit yourself a lot. So down in this one, we have, this is the white wax wood, 3-section staff. But I'm gonna grab the foam one. Just because I haven't practiced it in a while. I'm gonna be honest. I'm chickening out a little bit. So yeah, hit yourself in the head a lot. With the 3-section staff, people assume that it is the same as just like a regular staff, right? And there are ways that it does move while it's in motion, like a regular full 1-section staff, but it's not the same. They're much different moves. And then people assume that it's just a version, like a big version of a nunchuck. And it's definitely not a big version of a nunchuck. There are specific moves. Basically, you hold one hand and you spin one at one time. If you were to use this for fighting or for self-defense, you can do some of those same moves, but depending on how you would hold your hand position, you'd put a lot of it here in the body, right? And then, just got myself there again. You start to turn, and then you can definitely bring the other side out. And it looks cool, and I am by no means a master of the 3-section staff. Look to the wushu, W-U-S-H-U, or ushu. Look to some of the ushu guys. There's an American guy, or Brit, I don't know. Never heard him speak, so he could be Australian. White guy. I don't know who he is, but I've seen him do some stuff, and I'm like, that guy's really good with the 3-section staff. 1,000 times better than me. He's not a kung fu. He's not wearing a kung fu suit. He's usually wearing like street clothes. It's not the kung fu guy that you see sometimes, although he's decent, but not wushu level. Like traditional kung fu compared to wushu. Wushu is like Jackie Chan, acrobatics, Donnie Yen level. Wushu, more athletic, more acrobatic, like Chinese Kung Fu theater, or what do they call that? The Xinyan, the cult, Falun Gong, the Falun Gong guys that they have that Xinyan performance to raise money for the cult every year. All of a sudden it's in fashion because the CCP hates them. So they throw them in jail all the time. There's like 100,000 of them in jail. Anyway, the things that you do with the 3-section staff are not what most people think. But you can, if you spend enough time with it, you can learn how to do some really cool stuff Like I said, it's been a while. I've been meaning to get out more of the fluid weapons, including like the rope dart and the chain, and practice with those first. The reason I don't show them a lot is because I stink at it. As you can see, I'm not really good at it right now because I haven't spent enough time. A long time ago, and then, if I give myself like a couple weeks, I could kind of come up to speed. I'm still not gonna be good as like a wushu guy, but I can show you some basic things that you can do with it. I just wanted to throw this out there. Force myself kind of to get out of my comfort zone and get back into something that gives me more bumps and bruises than the regular stuff does. But those are basic strikes to Bruce Lee. I don't think I missed any, but I do want to talk about the hand transfer one more time, the hand pass, because this is elusive to a lot of people simply because of the fear that comes into your head, literally, not the fear, but also the pain when you whack yourself. People are afraid of, boom, they're gonna smash themselves when they go from one hand, lost it, to the other hand, right? When they start to do this, or they do the reverse. And by the way, did you see me throw that orbital in there? That's a way you can pop up all your tricks, make all your tricks look really cool. Add one orbital in. So if you're going into like a figure eight, boom, boom, throw a couple orbitals in there. If you want to do some wrist rolls, throw a couple orbitals and throw that in. It's just a way to kind of, pop it up, make it look really cool. But going from one hand to the other one, the general rule is wherever you point this thing, that's where this goes. That's why the 3-section staff is hard to just pick it up and mess with if you don't practice with it all the time, because there are 2 extra pieces, right? Or there's 1 extra piece. But the same thing is true for that. Wherever you point one stick, that's where the other one has to go because it's attached to it with a chain or a stick or a string. So that means if you hit yourself in the head, you did it to yourself. Don't blame the chuck. Don't throw the chuck down mad, stomp around like a big baby and be, no, chuck hit my head. You did that, right? That's true in life. Take responsibility, 100% ownership for everything that happens to you in life. It's all your fault, whether you realize it or not. But that's empowering, that's liberating, because that means you have 100% control over how you respond to the things that happen to you. And if you don't like something that happens to you over and over again, you have the power to change it, for the most part. Unless you're in CCP-controlled China, and then the thugs, the communist thugs, they do. On to a different subject. Coming to here, and coming back here. From one hand to the other hand, 1, 2, wherever I point this thing, that's where this one has to go. So if I turn this right here, bring this to here. Oh, good. Matthew says it's very easy for you. Good, Matthew. Yeah, you're past the point where you have any fear because you're just so comfortable with it. But see how this arm is perpendicular to the earth or to the ground, right? So if this is the earth, it's like a tree growing straight up. If you have this at an angle or at this angle, you're going to hit yourself because if it's in like this, you're pointing it at your back. If it's out like this, you're pointing it as it comes up at your head. So if you don't want to hit your head or hit your back, you just point it straight up and down. Now, the other part of that is your wrist, because this might be straight, but you might have your wrist turned, meaning head or back, right? So make sure this is straight and this is straight when you bring it up here, and it simply drops right here. You bring it here, and then you let this one go, and you whip this, that's that vertical or diagonal strike backward, and then it's here. Same thing. If it's straight up and down, see how that sticks out there? Now the other part of it is most people will try to reach behind their back to grab it. It's just the way our brain works. Remind yourself, go to the front, go to the front. And when you're ready to go in the opposite direction where you're coming across and up, this angle is the first motion. If you maintain that angle, when you bring it up, you're gonna whack yourself in the head. So as it comes across here, then you change directions with your wrist. So now your wrist is going up and down. If you use basic movements, it's very efficient against knife. Yes, absolutely, I agree with you. Thank you for that comment, coming straight up. Basic movements, don't try to get fancy. Someone's got a knife, you gotta be basic. Boom, straight up. So from here, come straight up. See, it's almost like I put it here on my elbow, and then I just turn my hand and see how that just pops into my thumb right there. It's as simple as that. So you bring it here, simple but not easy. And it's not easy not because it's a complicated move, but because your brain will trick you and say, I'm gonna hit myself, I'm gonna hit myself, I'm gonna hit myself. So go ahead and hit yourself a few times. Get over it, you're not gonna die. You're not even gonna bleed, probably. Maybe not, unless you go really fast and you have some really hard chucks, but probably not. You might get a nice bump, and it might hurt for a while. If you smash yourself in the face, there's a chance you might cut yourself. Luigi, you are welcome. Thank you, Luigi, for being here. Thanks for training with me. So you're just coming across. This is a Bruce Lee. Actually, in the movies, I've never seen Bruce Lee go forward. I've always seen him go backward, which is much faster, but it's also easier. Faster and easier. Forward can be fast too, and I think it was Matthew who said, with lots of practice, that becomes easy too. But remember, throw in a couple of these, and all of a sudden you popped up your trick. It looks like you know a lot more stuff, because you do know a lot more stuff. You look a lot better, you'll be able to do some really cool stuff. Now, last one is the wrist roll. And again, this is not a Bruce Lee move. This is Bruce Lee plus. That's not to say Bruce Lee couldn't do it. I'm sure he could do it, but I haven't seen him do it. And if you want to see who Bruce Lee trained with, look at Dan Inosanto. They would say Dan Inosanto, Bruce Lee's student. But I think at the time that they're in the movies together, Dan Inosanto, especially in the movies, he does 5 times as many tricks as Bruce Lee does. Yeah. So from here, bring it to the back of your hand. All I did was turn it. So I had the long side coming out of the pinky. I turn it to here. Now that put the chain on the back of my hand. I open my hand, turn my hand a little bit because it's still going to be moving here. Close it, and now I'm in like a hammer grip. If you ever work with knives, you know, toothpick grip, hammer grip, ice pick, like you're stabbing somebody with an ice pick or a screwdriver. It's you're either gonna stab them like you've got an ice pick or a screwdriver, or you're gonna smash them like you got a hammer when you use a knife. Or like you would slice them, but it would be this. This is called hammer grip, it's called toothpick. Ice pick. My hand's here. I pop it here, open, turn, bring it down. To bring it back, I come here. Now, if you're spinning, when you come to the opposite side of your body, you'll do the first spin. Now you're in this is also called a negative grip. Now you're in the negative grip. Yes, I like that one too. You said starting your arm or under your arm, that's a really cool one. Bring it from here, pop it out there. So we did this one earlier, bam. And then you can go into a figure 8. You want to get back into the tricks, always come back out to an orbital. From the orbital, you can go into the upper arm, or you can go immediately into that. From the orbital, you can go into the Bruce Lee triangle, and then go into that. But you can always get into this position under the arm, and then get back out, switch hands, and then fight with the other side. And then you become ambidextrous, you look better, you look like you know what you're doing, because you do, and you're doing Bruce Lee tricks. You want to fight like Chuck Norris. Fight like Chuck Norris, you got to learn how to do a side kick and a crescent kick and all that. Fight Billy Jack, but we're talking about Bruce Lee, right? Fight like Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris met each other in the movies. We're spinning this way. We go into a figure 8. Come back out into the orbital. Go into the Bruce Lee triangle. Come back out to an orbital. Go to the upper arm. Catch it under. Pop them. And then do wrist rolls, or the wrist roll with the throw and catch. Throw and catch. Throw and catch. And if you want to see any of those tricks, we did all those tricks in this video. If you just joined us, it's earlier, so just go back and watch it again. Please, in the comment section, not just the chat, but in the comment section especially, let me know what's your favorite Bruce Lee move. What's your favorite move to do with the nunchucks, even if it's not a Bruce Lee move. What kind of nunchucks do you like? And then comment on each other. Build this as a community. This is a virtual online training dojo. We're all training together. This is our martial arts school through the internet, through YouTube, through Facebook, through all the other places where we exist. But go down in the comment sections when people leave a comment, start to talk to each other and meet your virtual training partners in the virtual dojo. Let them know what kind of nunchucks you like, what's your favorite move, and that might spark some creativity on your part. You might think of something new, you might think of something you used to do, and it jogs memories when we start to have conversations about it. So please have those conversations. Give me a thumbs up if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't. You guys have been awesome. I'll see you later today because we got